Hi, so last night I was watching some things on Stephan Stern's jail call, and he was listening to his interaction with his parents. Now, we all know foresight is huge. And, however, what's interesting is as I listened to 3 different phone calls, 2 different people who talked about it. And what's interesting is we know what's really going on. However, sometimes we're compulsed to do things. Now, have you ever wondered why you're compulsed to do things? It's because of how our brains are processing the information. So as I was watching the dynamic there, I saw the ties. Now, what do I mean by ties? So there are different ways that they're basically 4 ties. You hear about soul ties, but there's other kinds of ties as well that connect us to people. And when we don't have healthy boundaries in those ties, when we don't know how those ties work, when we don't know what happens when those ties are created, what happens is we cannot have healthy boundaries. Now, you maybe go, well, you're talking in code. What does that mean? So let's say, for example, this will probably be the easiest one to explain. I have a physical body. My mom has a physical body. We have a physical connection because I come out of her womb. We cut the umbilical cord to stop that physical connection. However, if the mom never fully lets that umbilical cord stop and breaks that connection, or the child, it's really not the child's responsibility. It's really the parent to break that physical connection. What happens is there's still this really weird physical connection that can be there, that can turn into a soul connection, can turn into another kind of connection somewhere down the road. And it ends up impacting a child-parent relationship, how that child as an adult will function in other relationships, and those kinds of things. And so I was listening to how they were connecting and how there weren't boundaries in that connecting because they didn't understand how they were processing that information. Just like a mom, after having a baby and the umbilical cord is cut, now the baby is not as separate from their body. And if they aren't taught how to connect with that child in a new way or a healthy way, so remember, the baby is inside of them. That baby becomes one with their body. Now that baby is outside of their body. How do you connect in a different form? These are the ties. And we have these ties in belonging. We have these ties in relationships. And so how do we have healthiness in that? So if a mom still sees that child as a part of their body, how are they going to treat that child? They're going to treat that child the way they treat themselves. They're not going to see that child as independent when they get older as an adult. They're going to see that child still as a child, and they're going to treat that child as a baby that's still inside of them, still a part of their body. These are the things that happen and connections that are made. That's just an example. It gets way more complicated than that. And so as I was watching Stephan Stern's mom, dad, Stephan, I saw where they were connected in multiple ways. I saw that they had problems with boundaries around him. And I saw then how he went in the victim, predator, rescuer triangle. And everything had to revolve around creating a environment or creating a situation, whether it be abstract or whatever, to become a victim. Now, what does that mean? When someone is so strong in that triangle, they have to do everything they can to be a victim. Everything in his conversation was about, I need hope to know that I can get out of this. But really what he was saying is, I don't have the bed I want. I don't have the food I want. I'm a victim here. I'm a victim here. I'm a victim here. I'm a victim that I will no longer have Madeline. I'm the victim. Now, this is really disgusting to a lot of people because of what he's accused of and what he did to a 13-year-old girl, what he's accused of doing to a 13-year-old girl. However, pull yourself away from that and understand how the victim predator rescuer triangle works. To stay a victim, you have to either become a rescuer or a predator. Him staying a victim was so strong. He had to create situations, and he's still creating situations to be a victim. And his parents are coming in, and in that video, they were coming in to rescue him. They stayed in that pattern. And when Stephan would get demanding and commanding of his parents. And you could really see the predator come out of him to stay the victim. And his parents would kind of cower and give in to him. It's learning skills to come out of that triangle. So what happened is their ties, that's why I'm talking about that first part, their ties worked with the victim predator triangle to create all of this. Now, am I saying that everybody who's in this triangle or every tie is going to create this? No. But what I am saying is they will create situations that are unhealthy. And to break that, we have to have healthy boundaries. We have to know how these ties work within us, and there's patterns to that. And that's what I study. What are the patterns and how to have healthy boundaries and how to not go into the triangle? Because the triangle is very welcoming. Because the triangle feels good. I'm going to tell you something. It feels good to feel bad. Otherwise, we wouldn't do it. In our brain, there's a place where pleasure and pain are very close together. So feeling bad feels good to a lot of people. And if you get addicted to feeling bad because it's a high, you're going to find ways to become a victim or see yourself as a victim or create situations or stories to be a victim in a situation, even if it's clearly proven you are a predator. And when we understand that, yes, you can be disgusted. Yes, you can be, oh, I can't believe that person did that. But when you clearly understand that, what happens is if we are doing it, if any person is doing it, it gives you a choice to come out of it. But it also gives you the ability to use language to help the other person come out of it. Because you are able to verbalize to them what is going on and give them a choice, because a lot of times they aren't seeing another choice because they aren't aware of what's going on. Because telling someone, quit playing the victim card, you aren't the victim, you're the predator in this situation, is not going to get someone to put the card down, because they're going to argue with you because they've got to be the victim. Showing them the triangle and showing them how the triangle works creates awareness and gives them a choice to say, do I want this or do I not want this? So on that note, I hope this was very helpful. And if you'd like more information, please do reach out to me. I do have trainings on this that are online that are pretty reasonable. And then you can also do coaching with me. So on that note, I'll see you next time. Bye for now.